Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, world? You're listening to Fresh Radio, and I'm your host, the young man Nuke, and I bring you family, revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip-hop all in one show. And, you know, I got an awesome guest today. I've been knowing this person all their life. You don't even understand. And it just so happened that our paths are crossing at this time as adults, and we get to find out about each other at this point. You know, it's my sister of all people, KT Louie, man. KT Louie, you out there?
Yeah, man. What's up, man? What's up, Nuke? How you doing?
Hey, you know, I'm just, you know me, you know me, you know how I get down, and I appreciate you coming through and sliding down and talking to the peoples and the family. You know, I mean, we are going to have a real awesome show. You know, it's obvious. I know who you are and all about you, but my audience doesn't know who you are. I would like you to just to talk about you and introduce yourself to my audience, if you can do that for me, sis.
Okay.
I mean, you don't got to start from the beginning. Just to sprinkle them a little bit.
Person who would have different, many creative aspects and many creative interests.
Oh, I apologize, but you have to repeat yourself. Honestly, it's like you came out of a portal from nowhere, and like I didn't hear anything you were talking about. Can you please start over again, please?
Yeah. Well, my name is KT Louie, and I am a multi-potentialite. What a multi-potentialite is a person who has many creative interests and dabble into many creative things. That is what I do. I don't just focus on one thing. I focus on many things. For instance, I am currently an author. I released a book about 2 years ago entitled A Learning Coloring Book, ASL ABC, in which I had partnered with Barbados Black to create a coloring book that teaches you the alphabet and sign language. And a little background on the reason why I did that. I myself have hearing loss. You know, I was born with a hearing loss, and growing up, I didn't have the sources, and I felt alone once I got comfortable accepting my hearing loss and learning it. So I decided to create something to welcome people along my journey. So welcome to my journey of learning American Sign Language by purchasing, the American, Sign Language coloring book and learning the alphabet. So where you learn the alphabet, that. Another thing that I am venturing in is a clothing line. My clothing line is called Certified Louie. And what it means to be certified is to be comfortable with yourself, to feel good about yourself, and ultimately being yourself. We're all about being authentic, being comfortable, and being yourself. And it's a brand that I wish to share with the world and, to get them along that journey along the lines of our mission. Not a lot of people are authentic to themselves, and you can do that with fashion. I don't have, cheap clothing. When you put on our fashion, our clothing and apparel, you feel certified because the comfortable and the quality of it is good quality. Those are two things that I mainly work on outside. My main thing that I do study law on the private side, equity law, and I just help people, beat cases like traffic tickets, warrants, and things of that nature. Those are the things that I mainly dabble in. I do have many different endeavors in arts. As I said, I'm a multi-potentialite. I have many ideas that I want to dabble in or experience and, get into and essentially help the whole world, but those are the main three things that I do on a daily basis is, my private solicitor in equity, me being the author, and me being having a clothing line. Also, I am a photographer, too. I don't really talk about much about that, but I'm a dope-ass photographer. I've been doing that for over 10 years, but it's not something I mainly focus on right now because I want my art to get out there, and I feel like, informing people about my hearing loss, and not just me, but the deaf community in whole, is very important. Cause I want to bridge that gap between the deaf community and the hearing. Because a lot of people just, it's hard for us to communicate, with people out there, and we struggle on a daily basis just trying to communicate. So I think learning American Sign Language is definitely a way to bridge that gap. So I'm really passionate about that and learning that, and one day soon to become an interpreter, ASL interpreter. That is my ultimate goal. Yeah.
Wow, that is a lot. That you said multi-potentialite?
Yes,
multi-potential. Right?
Yeah, you said that right. Multi-potentialite. It's a word that one of my homies just introduced to me last year. Because, I was telling her how I do this and do that, and it's hard to focus on one thing because I have so many creative interests, and I want to dabble in so many different things. And she was like, yeah, the word is multi-potentialite, which means someone with many interests in creative pursuit. So that definitely explains me, because I'm not one person that do one thing, I'm one person that have many interests.
That the fact that they were able to take that concept and make a word out of it is remarkable in itself. So that's dope. And like I said, I know you on a professional and a personal level. You've done some photography for me, you've done some videography for me. I've actually got some clothes from you. So even on that, I even got the I don't know no sign language except for in West Side, but I do got that coloring book. I got that for my children. So I definitely support when I can support. But the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of different avenues that you are partaking on, and even that new avenue of the law. You've been reading about law for a minute. To what I know, and you definitely get that. It's I ain't trying to say too much, but I know what you've been doing, and you've been doing it though, for real. So that's impressive to me, because you're moving in the air that a lot of people don't even know exists. So kudos to you on that note, and more blessings to the further of your knowledge in that law aspect, because they created these laws. And they got us out here under these laws that a lot of people don't even know exist, but they still falling up under them. And once you get to understanding the what am I trying to say? I don't want to say understanding the game they playing, because that's just so generic. But once you get to understanding, I guess, the rules and the ins and outs, or the instructions of the game that you're playing, because really and truly, a lot of people just jump clean into the game before they read the instructions. That's why Uno is so messed up, because people just be doing whatever they want to do and making up rules as they go along, and that's kind of where we at right now. So I really want to talk about the things that you are finding hardcore interest in right now. Being a potentialite, I know, you there's just so many different aspects that you could branch off into and not limit yourself to. But I want to talk about what you're currently finding as your main focus, and how that would probably apply to the audience.
Well, publicly, the main thing I focus on is being an author, and my coloring book, learning sign language, because not only is that beneficial for others, but it's beneficial to my life as well, because it's something that I need as a person who is losing their hearing. But privately, my law, so between them two, I really focus on them two, and I said privately for my law, because the thing that I speak on the law side is a lot of things on the private side, and I don't really put it out in the public like that. I say things here and there, but, it's something that needs to be put out there, but certain things need to be said privately as well. But so that's like where I'm at. So like mainly my ASL coloring book, that's the main thing. Like I'm actually working on another coloring book, and I have some other like so many ideas with that as well for that, because like I said, I think it's just so important. A lot of people don't even know that they themselves have hearing loss, but they're dealing with it. And, you know, a lot of people have told me, like, oh, I would never know that you had this hearing loss, because it's something that I just didn't complain about, and it's just something that I just have to continue to push through. And I don't just hear people, you know, there's other ways that I communicate by either watching, you know, reading lips or watching someone's body language, and then as well as using context clues. So it's just something that I've just been doing all my life, so I guess it just seems, you know, natural to me. But, you know, I'm not the one to complain about it. So it's just, you know, doing what I need to do to continue to be the best person that I can be.
No, for sure. And you know, I look at it like this. This is just for me on the outside looking in. You know, I follow you on the social medias and things like that. So, you know, I ain't no hater over here. But like what I be seeing is that you do this sign language thing like every so often. You know, you show people different signs. And, you know, like I said, I only know 2 different signs, like for real, other than like what I be looking at, what you be doing, and you I just think it's awesome because, you know, like I said, I don't see nobody doing that on my page. What I see a lot of on my page is I see a lot of hip hop interpreters. You know, they man, they be going in. I seen the one lady, she was doing the fingers for Busta Rhymes. So, you know, like that was funny. That was so funny. That was real funny. So yeah. What got you into that sign language thing? As far as doing the videos on the social media.
Well, I wanted to get out there, and the only way I can get out there, especially with the way of technology, is by doing a video. So at first, I started releasing one video once a week, which was on Saturdays, and I entitled it Sign Saturdays. But then eventually, like maybe after a month or 2, I asked the audience, did they want me to release another video? So I added another day, which is on Wednesday, and I call it What's Up Wednesday. So twice a week you can learn sign language, you know, every week, a different sign language every week, or words or just letters or whatever the case may be. But twice a week you got What's Up Wednesdays and Sign Saturdays. And I think it's because I don't really see many people like that either doing what I'm doing, even though I do follow some hearing people. But the thing, some people with hearing loss, but the thing that I'm seeing is, you know, they're signing and people are asking them what they want to sign. And sometimes it's a lot of derogatory words and inappropriate words and things of that nature that they be, you know, signing for them, which is it's cool because that's what they requesting. But me, on the other hand, really about learning the language and communicating. You know, not everybody speak derogatory, you know, in their language all the time. You know, we can have a appropriate conversation without it being derogatory. So, and I don't really see many people doing what I'm doing on that aspect. So I wanted to do that, you know, and me getting comfortable on the camera and, you know, and showing people that. So I'm not sure how long I've been doing it, probably about like 6 months now. It's been a journey and a blessing. Definitely something I'm getting more comfortable with. And, you know, I'm in Pittsburgh right now, and I be out, and people are like, oh, yeah, I see you doing your thing, you know, with your silent videos and everything. And that really makes me feel good. Like people are actually watching this, and people are tuning in, and they learning this. Because they really want to tap in with that, you know, and they want to, you know, be educated. I just educated, but they want to learn and be able to communicate with me or with someone else that they may know that may be deaf or hard of hearing. But it really makes me feel really, really good. Like, I be so ecstatic and happy when I be hearing it, and I really be enjoying the process of doing this. So it's something that I plan on doing for the long run. I even got a show in mind. Like, I got so much things planned for this ASL. Like, it's crazy. I'm not even going to speak on it, but but I have a lot of good things that, that I got in plan. So.
I want you to, because you said it a couple of times, and maybe you have said it earlier, but I want you to explain to the audience what ASL is.
ASL is American Sign Language. So pretty much you are speaking hands. There's different types of sign language. Like they got BSL, which is British American Sign Language. They have BASL, which is Black American Sign Language. And then they just have sign language. And me looking and, like, doing some research, like, there's so many different types of ways of, like, sign language, but just to be simple, American Sign Language, ASL, that's what I'm learning and teaching.
And, you know, one thing to say, touch on what you talked about earlier when you were talking about, you know, this is a language. So, you know, that's one of the things I wanted to bring out with, you know, the ASL is a language. You dig? So, you know, the way that you communicate with people is through language, you know, and just so happened that this, like you said, you didn't want to speak derogatory to people. So, you know, like, I mean, that's how you speak to people. It just so happened to be with your fingers. And a lot of people, man, you ever woke up in the morning, you tried to get out of the bed, and your leg don't work, and you just fell over and bust your head on the coffee table, and you rolling over in pain, all because your leg don't work? What I basically mean, I'm trying to say is just like, man, you never know, or you take for granted these things until they gone. You know what I mean? It's like, man, one day you wake up and you ain't got no legs, and you like, damn, you know, I used to go walk to the store. You know what I mean? But then there's some people who've been their whole life, and they can't see. They've been whole life, and they can't hear. You know what I mean? So, like, they the language that developed from those, what I want to say, shortcomings are blessings that have turned into this way of communication. You know, and not only does it help people who have you know, like those ailments, it also helps people who are fully whole human individuals, but have people with you know, those issues that prevent them from communicating with each other. So, you know, like I being able to learn that language to be able to communicate with someone who you couldn't communicate with from prior, you know, that's just an important skill. And I don't know if I want to say it's an important skill, but I mean, it is an important skill, but it's like, it's definitely something that is worthy.
No, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's important. And I'm glad you mentioned that, though, because, like, going to the doctors and stuff, I'm not going deaf, but I am losing my hearing. And then there's some times where I don't want to speak because it hurts to speak. And my ears be hurting, and I be overstimulated. So, like you said, like, sometimes we take things for granted. And another reason why I wanted to get into sign language was, like, there may be a day where I just go mute, you know, because of my hearing just got that bad, or it just hurt to speak. So how else will I communicate instead of, you know, writing or texting? And American Sign Language is another way that we can communicate with our hands. So that was like another reason why I got into, you know, wanting to learn, you know, this language as well.
Yeah, see, and it's like I said, there's things that we take for granted that it's a whole other universe for other people. You know, you're operating on your day-to-day basis, not knowing that there's a whole other subculture operating right along with you, you know. Like, I mean, just for example, you know, a lot of people don't take into consideration that when they go to walk across the street and they push the crosswalk, that there's that sound. That sound actually is like echolocation, so that the hard of hearing can hear where it's cool to cross, and they know when it's time to cross and in which direction to cross. It just so happened that I got real good ears. Like, I got my ears are real nice, you know, because of the music, I want to say. But, like, I got a real good ear, and I can hear it. I can hear where the sound bounces off the walls and bounces off the things in directions, you know. So, like, I mean, like, that's things that regular people just aren't they're just walking through and they just like, man, this stupid thing is making noise, not knowing it's a whole communication tool. You did, like you're just sitting there killing it. You don't know.
It's funny you say that because I ain't never heard no sound. So sometimes when it's like beep, beep, like me blinking, but not the sound you talking about. I'm like, what sound you talking about?
I'm going to have to point that out to you one day. I definitely got to point that out to you one day. So listen. I know you got some things coming up a little bit. You know, what you got going on in the life of KT? I guess you could say for the rest of the summer.
Well, currently, like I said, I am working on my second book, my ASL coloring book. I don't have a title or anything like that. It should be done by the end of summer, so maybe by fall, that's when I'm going to release it. And I'm also working on creating my own events because generally I go out and do a lot of pop-up shops and, you know, advertise my brand that way. But I'm but I am going to be doing my own event to where, you know, it will be specifically for my brand. So that's something I'm going to be working on, and within hopefully like the next 2 months, 3 months or something like that, my first event's going to be popping out like that. Currently, I don't have any events going on right now. Just building on the brand, you know, still releasing my videos, especially with Certified Louie. I have a few brand ambassadors already on the wrap. Still working on my the commercial that I'm still trying to wrap up. But Certified Louie, you know, like I'm taking my time with a lot of things with my brand because it's a certain word that I wanted, and it's just not something I just want to release, and because it's just not about money to me, you know. So I'm not trying to release it with that idea, just trying to release something. It's a certain word that I wanted to release it, and, you know, with a certain message and meaning. So I'm taking my time with that. But nothing set in stone plan as of any events currently going on right now. Besides, you know, just check out on the websites, like on Facebook, on KT Louie Visual Production, or KT Louie, kt.louie on Instagram, where you can see I drop my 2 videos a week on What's Up Wednesdays and Science Saturdays. So you can definitely see that happening every week. You'll see that, so y'all tap into that. And you can also follow my other brand, Certified Louie, on all platforms, IG and Facebook. Website is under construction on that. And ktlouie.com is where you can buy a book. I only have like 4 books in stock, so check in that. Oh, another reason, I can't believe I forgot this. Speaking of my book, shout out to Dilworth Traditional Academy. They have a ASL program there, and they bought 30 of my books for their program. I can't believe I forgot about that. So shout out to them. And I got to meet the kids and the instructor over it, and it was an amazing thing. Like I was like the Kool-Aid man. I had that big smile on my face, just to be able to have something that, you know, kids can look at or experience with and learn. Like it was just a heartwarming experience for me. So shout out to Dilworth Traditional Academy for purchasing 30 books for their program.
That's what's up, though. That's love right there. It's awesome that you got that you can have that type of impact on people. So, you know, that's what it's all about. Honestly, at the end of the day, having the effect on the community at whole. You know, we are here on the same planet. I don't think other people understand it, but, you know, that's a whole other topic. Yo, KT, listen, tell the people how they can get in contact with you, you know, social media or however else you want to reach you. Well, I think you just already did that.
No, it's fine. I can drop it again, though. You know, on KT Louie, Facebook, KT Louie, Louie. If you search that, you know, my business page will pop up, KT Louie Visual. That's VISUALZ, and production. My business page will pop up with that. On Instagram, kt.louie. On TikTok, KT Louie, KTLouie. As far as for Certified Louie, on Instagram, the Certified Louie, and Facebook, Certified Louie. clothing and apparel. The website is ktlouie.com.
There it is. You got to follow her all over the social media. Basically, just put search in KT Louie, and then I'm pretty sure her logo or her face is going to pop up. And, get in contact with it. Get familiar. Yo, KT, one thing before you get up out of here, I ask all of my guests, the first time they come on the show, for sure, I need them to drop one jewel on the audience that they could take away from. There's a lot of things you said over the course of this 30 minutes, but like one thing that they could take away from you as a person as opposed to what this 30 minutes is, because, it's kind of like a lot to encompass you into a couple words. But, I'm putting you on the spot.
I know, right? Well, always, stay true to yourself and bet on yourself and have patience and grace for yourself. There are a lot of things that's going on, an outside factor where we feel like we have to rush things or we feel like we're not where we want to be at. Now, I'm a firm believer that things happen the way they should. And when you take your time, things will happen the way they should, and they will unfold for you. And always be authentically yourself, because you will naturally, people will be gravitate to you because you being yourself. You're not pretending to be someone you're not. So embrace everything about you, like all your flaws, your mistakes, your failures, because all of those are just lessons that we can learn from ourselves to be the best that we can be. So I just say embrace the journey. What Nip say, it's not a race, it's a marathon. Once I truly understood that, I looked at life differently and really started embracing and appreciating my journey. So that's my gem.
Man, that's a shiny gem too. It's all princess, cut it up and everything, all type of facets. It's refracting. It ain't just reflecting, it's refracting. That's a beautiful gem. For sure. But listen, I do appreciate you taking time out of your busy life. You got, I don't know, we got a group chat, and that group chat, every other week somebody leaving the state. So,
right.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming through and definitely taking the time to bless the audience with your presence. And you got anything else to say before we get up out of here?
Yeah, make sure y'all tap in with my big brother and Nuke and his music. Y'all missing out on the young man Nuke. With my bro. All love.
Yeah. She ain't just saying that either because she my sibling. She know. She know.
Yeah,
and that's all I'm gonna say about this.
When he come to me, I'm be back straight up with him. I don't be playing, I don't sugarcoat. I tell him straight how I feel about it. So if I don't like it, I'm like, bro, I don't like it.
Yeah, that's I've had my heart broken a couple times. But it's cool. It is what it is. But I appreciate you, sis, and everybody out there that's out there listening to Fresh Radio. We brought you the Family Revolution, entertainment, spirituality, health, and hip hop all in one show. Man, y'all be slow. Peace.
Peace.